Today we're going to talk about how track and field event data can raise your profile and maybe get you that D1 offer you're looking for. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, and today we're going to talk about how track and field event data can help raise your profile and get you that Division I offer you're looking for. Because one of the things that gets asked of me, because I talk to folks in recruiting all the time, I work at a recruiting website, ouinsider.com, where I'm writing about this stuff. One of the things that I get to answer to is, hey, my kid doesn't have a lot of offers, or I don't have a lot of offers if I'm talking to the kid. What can I do? Well, there's a number of things. If you're not starting, you're not starting. So if you're not starting, you got to get to be starting, and then you got to get to put up numbers. But even then, it can be difficult. Perhaps you are a Wildcat quarterback, and you go to a North Tulsa high school where not a whole lot of folks take y'all seriously, and you just wonder why you don't have the offers that you think you should have. Now, that's not Josh Jacobs' story entirely, because he ended up getting the offers that he needed, ended up at Alabama, and he's an early entry into the NFL draft. But I use him as an example because perhaps if you could look at track data, right, and a college football recruiter can comb through tracking football, for whom I'm going to talk with for the second video in this series, you might have an outside chance of getting a phone call to talk about, hey, have you thought about going to school at X? And there you go. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to the guys at Tracking Football, that be Mark Branstad, Aaron Hunter, and Brian Spielbeeler, about why and how they decided to put together this scouting service that revolves around track and field data. So they get verified data from high school events, combine scores, and they put it all together, and then they put some of this along with other measurables into an algorithm that spits out a number between 0 and 5 that gives a player athlete index score. Now, this is not a football centric score. This is a predictor of football athleticism, which is to say they are not the guys like me and other folks that work at other recruiting services or even college football recruiters who go to football games and see if the dude can play football. They just can help you verify and narrow the field into, can this guy do the things I need him to do from an athletic standpoint? Because if you got speed, I can't teach you to be fast. I can teach you how to block. I can teach you how to catch. I can teach you how to carry a football. I cannot teach you how to be very, very fast. And I thought this was particularly interesting because a lot of kids don't necessarily run track because they think it takes away from their football skills or their football prowess. And really, you should be playing as many sports as you can to help you with your main sport, which in this case is football. But if you're a great track athlete, that is another way to be discovered. Because if you drop 10.5, somebody's going to find you. If you high jump 7 feet, somebody's going to find you. If you can run 55 in the 400-meter hurdles, or you can run 47, 46 in the 400-meter dash, it ain't just track and field coaches that are going to come find you. It's also football coaches as well. So I talked to Mark, Aaron, and Brian about how that figures in this video. Let's take a listen. Folks that watch the channel are routinely parents of recruits, and routinely parents of recruits who are not highly coveted or 4-star, 5-star guys. As a guy who works at a recruiting service, I put a lot of emphasis on what these things mean because they give us a good barometer of how good a football player is. But one of the things I thought was really cool to bring up was, hey, perhaps your kid's pretty good at one event or another in track and field, and that is one way to get him in front of other coaches who might be able to say, maybe he does not have the raw football skills that I think are necessary, but he does have all these other skills for which I can work with. It's just more tools to try to get your kid more exposure. Is there something wrong with that? Is that thinking, or is there something you correct?
No, I think that's kind of spot on. That's one of the things that, we tend to get. We've been getting more and more, feedback or notifications from parents or even athletes. Hey, what is it that I can do to get noticed? Kind of our first thing is, well, what do you do outside of football? Obviously, tape and film is going to be king. If you're not starting, then obviously that should be your focus. But if you're starting and you're just, you're not getting the attention that you think that you need, we ask, what else are you doing? And in a lot of cases, like, well, I play football and then I go into the weight room after the season's over. Well, yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities to show off your athleticism. Or, hey, I don't want to do that because I'm not that athletic. Well, that's key point. You need to get more athletic. So, go wrestle, play, try to play basketball, play baseball, get on the track. And then, obviously if you're a skill guy, get into an event that obviously translates. And, I think a lot of kids surprise themselves that, even if it's not a great track data point, it's certainly better than not having any data points, because then it's going to be, well, if you want to get any attention, you've got to get into a camp. And if you don't perform well there, then you've got some more problems. But if you have a bona fide track data point, whether it's the shot and disc or sprints or hurdles, that's a really, really good thing. We continue to get feedback on that from all these recruiters that they want to see it. And if it's not there, then you have to go through other mediums to try to get it. So absolutely, we think it's nothing but a positive. And especially if there's an athlete that says, well, I'm playing out of position in high school, I'm a little bit smaller, whatever. Well, then, you really need to show that you've got some explosiveness and some athleticism, especially if you're undersized. So it's a great way to gain attention.
All right, click on the next video in the track and football series to find out which, if any, event is the best for you when we're talking about a football predictor of college football athleticism. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.